Whether you're new to the trade or you're a time-served electrician like myself who's been doing it for many years and you don't want to carry multiple tools onto site, or maybe if you're a DIYer and you just want one tool that'll do it all. Well, maybe this Bosch Professional FlexiClick could be your answer. Let's get the box open and see what's in it. So first of all, it comes in a really nice, tough, rugged box. It's a stackable system from Bosch with clips, so you can add and detach as you will. So let's get the box open to find out what is inside. As you can see, it's brand new, haven't even opened it yet. And in fact, I'm going to have to get a knife very quickly just to take the edge off. So lifting the lid. It's all very nicely presented inside, obviously all the instructions with that. And we can see straight away that there is the drill. Cool, a bit stiff to start with, but nice little battery, fits on the bottom, clips back in. So you've got feather control on the trigger. And then obviously you've got your reverse and your forward. On the top, 2 speeds, 1 and 2. And it's very, very comfortable actually, very ergonomically made. Nice rubber on it, coating on it for good grip. The trigger is in a really good place for your finger, as well as the grip for the rest of your fingers and your hand. On top, you can see you've got a drill, and you have torque settings ranging from 20 all the way back down to 1. So what else do we have in the box here? Well, obviously we've got the charger. Comes with 2 batteries, one's obviously in the drill. We have a belt harness. Although, for me personally, I'd rather there was a clip on the tool, but there we go. And then we have all of the attachments. This is for your bit drivers. This is your bit driver. As you can see, it pulls back to release the bits. We have the chuck. Apparently this will hold up to 13mm drill bits. We also have an angle, which could be very, very useful. The amount of times I've needed something like this, I've lost count. And we have the very special offset. Now this thing's going to be fantastic for cabinetry work, for getting into tight corners where if you've got a straight nose like this one, for example, you can see how much closer you can get to the edge. So let's see how it all goes together. Put it to the test with various different materials using screws and drill bits and just see what it's really made of. Whilst I was waiting for the battery to charge up, which didn't take very long at all, but it's only a small 2Ah battery, I thought I'd have a quick play with the attachments just to get a good feel of how they work, because when you first get to use them they can be a little bit fiddly, but they are incredibly simple. But one piece of advice I would say to you right now is that when you come to change the attachments, either remove the battery when you do it, or on the forward reverse, if you put it into the middle, you will lock the trigger. Therefore, you're not going to spin the mechanism. It's got a standard bit holder in the middle there, so if you wanted to, you could just put it in. It is magnetic, so it will hold your bits nice and firm. But personally, I wouldn't. I would actually use the proper attachment it comes with. For the simple fact is you don't really want to get dirt into there because it's going to make it difficult to take these on and off. And they simply just go on like such. Give them a push and you hear the click and it's locked in. Like most bit holders, it just pulls back on the sleeve, insert your bit, release, and it locks it in. again to release. It's a little bit stiff to begin with, but it just needs bedding in, I suspect. Now, the options with this are incredible. I really like the features we have with this. You've obviously got the chuck head, as I showed you earlier, or I showed you all of these earlier, the angle heads and the corner heads. This is one of the main reasons why I actually bought this tool. Now, you can get different versions of that, just like this one here. But you can see straight away how much bigger that is in length. And obviously, when that's in your drill, that's your centre hole. It's quite close to the edge. But if I were to put these two together, which is another great feature, they all join together, these bits. Just look at the difference of that. How much closer to the edge that is. That's at least, I'd say, half to a whole centimetre. So 5mm to 10mm difference in getting closer to the edge of the wall. And not only that, this attachment here moves. So once it's in the drill, pull it, turn it. There's many, many different points to help you get into that really awkward, difficult position. And of course, when you attach it onto your drill, you can just see all the different angles that you can get this into, because that one turns, that one turns. I don't think there's going to be very many angles that this machine is going to not get into. And personally, if I had this on a job that I was working on recently, it would have been perfect for drilling through joists, because they're so close together. I had to go with my drill in at an angle, and then when the spade bit was getting in there and I could get the drill back of the drill level with the adjacent joist, I had to then push it. So it's not ideal from that point of view for the other drill I was using. But this is such a small drill. You could get it into a lot of tight spaces just for that reason. So how powerful is it? Well, let's get some drill bits out. I've got a piece of C16 timber just down here. This is a piece of pine sleeper. So let's see what it's going to do. So I've got this on drill. I'm using a 5x100mm screw. Just going to see how easy it drives it in there. Easy peasy. Let's take it in lengthways. One-handed, that's handling it really, really easily. All the way in there. So it handles big screws easily. So just for a real test, let's try one of these into this piece of sleeper. Now we should see it come straight out the other side, hopefully. You can hear it struggling a bit. And to be honest, I'd be surprised if it does go all the way through, but let's go in. Wow. I can feel it biting against my hand, but it has. It's gone all the way through. And putting it back out again. Cool, yeah, you can really feel it pushing against your hand, but I have to admit, I didn't expect it to do that. What a fantastic driver. Okay, well, we know that it's got the power to do that. Apparently it goes up to 30 Newton meters of torque, so, and it's just proved. Wow, yeah, okay. Let's try it on an angle. Really quick to do that. Change the bit over again. Now the only thing that I would say about this is it doesn't have a side handle, so you do have to be a little bit careful when you use it like this. But no problem with that whatsoever. Seems to be transferring all the power straight through. So I guess what I need to do now is put a nice big spade bit in the end of it. It just so happens, here's a 30mm one. Now don't forget your PPE when you do any of this kind of thing, because obviously there's wood and etc. that just gets thrown around. So I'm just going to grab my goggles. Okay, let's move that over a bit so they want to catch my table. We'll put it onto the fast speed for the drilling. Well, it's struggling a little bit. Could also be that my drill bit's not the sharpest in the world. So I did struggle with that a little bit, but there we go. Straight through. So its drilling strength, as we've just shown, isn't fantastic. I mean, it could also be down to the fact that I recently resharpened this and I haven't done it quite right. But it has gone through, so it will do it. So again, let's just check the safety. Check the bit out. Now this time I need to change the head for the chuck. I just love how quick that is. So again, still on drill mode, still on speed 2. This is a 10mm wood drill bit. No trouble at all there. Hot knife through butter, easily coped with that. And again, let's try it on the angle. Again, don't forget your little safety. There's always somebody that will forget and they'll end up injuring themselves. No problem there whatsoever. You can see it stalls a little bit, but it grabs it again and carries on. I really, really like this machine. Let's have a go in here. I'm struggling a little bit on that, but it is going a long way. It has gone all the way through. So what else can this fantastic piece of kit do? Well, let's not forget about the angle piece. For getting into those tight corners. So I've got myself here my little demonstration board. It's an old cupboard, but that doesn't really matter what it is. It's just to demonstrate the corners. One thing I've just noticed about this, having put the bit in the end without the magnetic holder I had, I've realised that it's not magnetic, which to me is a bit of a downside for that. But if you've got the space like there is there, and just face it, if you're under a kitchen cupboard, you will have that distance away. It's the corner that you have the problem with. I would just put the magnetic bit in, and then that'll just make sure that your bit stays on the end, so you know we can get it. So I'm just going to demonstrate just how close I can get this. And you see I'm on sideways here, so if I want to get really, really down into there, what I need to do, make sure the safety is on again, pull it out, turn it around. You can just see how close I can really get that into that corner there. Whoops. Tell I don't do this very often. Straight through. Not a problem at all. And just to demonstrate the difference between those two, let's just take this back off again. Find the right bit. I'm always putting things down and forgetting where I put them. So, same thing again. And you can see the difference if I want to get that straight, how far it is. Otherwise, if I wanted to get down there into that corner, obviously I'll be tilting the drill, which means it's not going to go in straight. So let's just see the same level. It's good. Got to be a centimetre's difference between those two screws. But that just shows the sheer difference in how close you can get to the edge between those two attachments. But there's something else, and it doesn't actually come with the kit. It is an optional extra that you can buy, and that is the SDS attachment. Again, this is brand new. Haven't even taken it out of the box yet, so I've only actually seen it in use. I've never actually used one in anger, so I'm gagging to get this out to have a look at it. We like to take the boxes up, the usual stuff, and we can see you've got your handle, and there's the actual tool itself. Standard SDS and connector in the end there, and the belt clip and the stop gauge hiding just in the back of the box there. Actually really simple to put together. It has a belt clip and it just slides on over the back. If I can get it to line up correctly, put it on and you hear that little clip and it's in there. And it really needs that because oddly enough the weight of that feels greater than the actual drill itself. On top of that, you've obviously got your grip, which you definitely want to use, and it simply just slides on over into the center part, give it a spin, make sure it's in there, and then tighten the handle. And obviously you can undo that and move it to wherever you want it to go. And should you wish to use it, you have your depth stop, and again just push the trigger and making sure I've got it the right way around, just go straight in and locks when you release the trigger. But I'm going to take that off for now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it into the drill. And apparently this would take up to a 16mm SDS Plus bit. There we go. But I don't have one, so I'm going to use a 14 because that's the closest one I've got. And another top tip, don't insert these dry because you will knacker the mechanism up. I haven't got the grease on me at the moment, so I'm going to have to do it in this example. But it's always a really good idea just to make sure that the end of the drill bit is nicely lubricated before you push it in. And there we go, nice and simple. Right, let's give that one a go. Quick bit of PPE again. I'm expecting this is going to be a little bit loud, so I'm going to don the ear defenders. Make sure the handle's nice and tight when I've got it in the position that I want it to be in. And I'm going to use it on speed 2. all the way through. Now obviously that wasn't the quickest in the world, because it is an attachment to the tool itself. It's not a dedicated SDS, and you can't use it for chiseling, so you can't do any wall chasing with it, for example. It's purely for drilling. But if you wanted to put up some hooks for your kitchen cabinets, or to simply just drill any kind of hole up to 16mm, or in this case 14, because it handled it really well, then I mean that's a fantastic attachment. And you, like I said, you can just throw it into that one toolbox and take it up your 20 flight of steps to see Mrs. Miggins to help do the job that she's asked you to do. Well, I think that is an absolutely fantastic tool. And in the time, well, I say in the use of doing all of this, let me just unclip this. So this is the only thing, so until you're used to it, it can be a little bit on the fiddly side. But doing all of these demonstration jobs, I've still got 2 bars left on the battery, which for a 2 amp hour battery, I think is really good. And like I said earlier, it doesn't take much time to charge up at all, and the kit does come with 2 batteries. And it's, well, I just can't get over just how light and manageable the whole thing is. And there's another thing that this comes with as well. So I'm just going to put the clip on, just with the drill piece on, which you've already seen this one, but the holster. So you've got a holster, it's got an elastic strap on it. Slides in very comfortably. And that will, if I just walk around to the side here, also just fit to your belt. Take it off as you want it. There you go, ready to go. Me personally, I probably use something a bit larger, like a tough built pouch, because it means I can put all of the attachments into that pouch, so I've got them with me. So if I'm up a set of ladders, for example, I don't have to keep climbing up and down. But there is one last experiment that we haven't tried yet, but I guess you've all noticed that I've missed, and that's to use the SDS with the angle. So let's give that one a go. And the reason I want to try this is, well, it's here, let's use it, because it's just another addition to how versatile this tool is. And again, if you're left-handed, so you can put it in any position that works for you to do that particular job that you're doing. So once again, so let's try it the other way around. And we're on an angle, you can see that's obviously not straight. Changing the angle really doesn't make any difference to the power at all. Not that I can feel noticeably. Again, it's not the fastest thing going through this concrete block, but it's still doing it. It's not struggling. It's just a little bit slower than it would be if you're using, say, a 36 volt or an 18 volt version. And it looks like it's going to blow the bottom out any second now. And there we go. And you can see there that the safety kicked in on it. So it hit a point, it locked up, and it just stopped. So it didn't spin around, it didn't try and twist my wrist. Another fantastic feature of this tool. The Bosch GSR 12 volt-15 FC. Probably now my most versatile, most used tool that I'm going to have with me, because pretty much most jobs that I need to do on site, this little drill with all the attachments will do everything that my big stack of tools will do. Have you got one of these yourself? Do you have the 18 volt version? Do you have both versions? Please let me know. I mean, if you do have the 18 version, please let me know how it compares to the 12 volt here. And all I can say from that really is thank you for watching. If you've got any comments, please let me know. And until next time, Thanks for watching. Bit tough to get going, but oop. That'll be my clamp moving. Alright, we'll try that one again then. It also doesn't help that I'm actually going through the end of a knot. Always happens to me, especially on camera.